bet at some part of your life, you've probably been told by somebody to protect from the spirit world, whether that be through a family member, whether that be through a practitioner, a spiritual circle you've attended. Listen, the earth plane is saturated in misunderstandings. Seriously. And one of the things that you have to realize at the beginning of your development, you want to be different to everyone else. Not in an egotistical fashion or even a mindset, but you can't have that mindset coming into mediumship, because the problem is if you are protecting, you are doing all of these different humanistic rituals and practices. Why do we do them? I'll tell you the reason why we do them. Because we are scared. Why do you think fear seeps into your mediumship development? Through lack of understanding. Anybody who is protecting from the spirit world, or the realms for that matter, have a clear knowledge gap within their database of information when it comes to the spirit world. So take no notice of them. And I get it, right? There's going to be lots of you who've been conditioned by mankind's notions and theories. Listen, you don't have to look at my channel or the work that I do to see I'm authentic in the way everything that I do. I do everything on this platform to help each and every one of you. I don't stand to make anything from this. Like, literally, in the future, when I've got my own TV shows and I've got my own things, then yes, obviously, yes, this is going to open up new doors to me. But at this moment in time, I'm thinking about helping the everyday person. And through that, one of the biggest things that we have to address at the very beginning coming into this is your fear with the spirit world. Because a lot of you, right, you might like the idea. Let us put it like this. You might like the idea of using sage. You might like the idea of using cleansing rituals. You might like all of these things. And please don't let me be the one to spoil and shatter your world. But you have been sold a lie by mankind. These are humanistic practices that are welcomed into your world by poor understandings and bad teachings at best. When it comes to protection, protection starts at you, your mind. Protect from poor understandings and bad teachings. Anyway, welcome to episode number 7 of How to Become a Psychic Medium. Little bit of high octane gear there. Bit of a deep start to the video, wasn't it? I hope you are doing absolutely great. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Psychic Medium Jordan Coburn, and I can prove with evidence, my friends, of the afterlife. I've helped thousands of people on this earth plane to once again be able to reach out and contact their loved ones in spirit from the understandings and the teachings, and now it's your turn. Each and every one of you can become great mediums. In here at Help Heal Serve, we can give you the very foundations to forge your own unique understanding with the spirit world. Not to mention, we have the loving and supporting Help Heal Serve family. We also have Slack, which is a platform where each and every one of you can communicate with one another. And thank you to all of the channel members. If you are new to this course, go back to video number 1. And if you are somebody who is following the course, then remember to watch this to the very end. Don't be skipping parts. Part of my job as a tutor is to break you down as a person. Remember how I talk about it all the time? The little jigsaw, which is yourself. I shake up that jigsaw and I put the pieces back. Therefore, I know that you have a good understanding. If you decide to skip sections of a video, the problem is with that, you could and you will bypass some vital information, which is probably why you still haven't connected at this point in your entire life journey. If you skip videos and you don't take in and absorb all of that information, the problem is with that is it's not doing yourself any favor. I am trying to make these videos shorter, so I am with you. I know you don't have all day. Please, each and every one of you, smash down in the comment section if you like this video, if you hated this video, if you've got any ideas for future videos, let us know. Your comments are pushing the message of Help Heal Serve. We need this message to grow far and wide across this earth plane, and I can't do this just with the spirit world. We need your help. So remember, to each and every video that you say, whack it in the comments if you liked it, if you didn't like it, etc, etc. I've noticed that a lot of you are doing it, so thank you so much. Anyway, let's get into what you have come to see. Protection's one of those things where I understand and appreciate why each and every one of you will at some point feel it necessary to protect. I get it. We're talking about the spirit world. It's freaky, innit? I mean, I see the dead for fun. So I get it. It's freaky. It's crazy. It's mental. It's everything that you've been brought up not to accept or even to believe. And through those fear-based suppression that you've put in your own mind by not wanting to believe in it, when it becomes a possibility, it becomes even more scary. So a lot of you will, in the first instance, turn to religion, or you may even turn to using like say trinkets and sage and holy water and all of these different things. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you on this video. I'm going to try and keep it nice and sweet and to the point. None of it works. Like seriously, at what point did mankind think that sage, cleanse, crystals would stop energy? Like, come on, energy's omnipresent. It's like me saying to you that this sage is going to stop air from coming into my room. Of course it can't do that. It can't do that. Physically can't do that. Energy is no different to air. Wherever there is air, there is energy. Energy is an abundance. It's a wealth all around us in the everyday materialistic world. Therefore, if you think of it like this, I've got my hand here. If I push my hand forward, behind my hand is now full with the same air and with the same energy. It's not going nowhere. And when you understand and realize that the spirit world are in energy, which is all around us, you'll see why none of these rituals, and let's get into some of the ritualistic side of things. When we're speaking about, for example, a lot of people will say, get a priest. Right, first of all, little bit of a problem with that. And whilst I don't want to go into a religious rant here, I'm trying to keep it on topic, but what you've got to understand is for a priest to work, the power of suggestion has to be you believe in that religion, because that's all it is, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be deluded and think that a priest can tell energy what to do, because there is not one human being on this planet that can tell energy what to do. We coexist with energy. We can work with energy, or we can just choose not to work with energy. For those of us who work with energy, we get insights. We get, kind of not cheat codes, but we do get a little bit of a nudge in the right direction, as long as the topics are going to be assisting the energy. We all have lives to live at the end of the day. But protection starts at you. It starts with your understanding. If you have a good understanding of energy, it supersedes the notion of protection. This is what a lot of people on this planet don't get. Everything in this life that mankind has created is there to suppress you. There's each and every step of the way. I can guarantee you there is not one thing that has been put on this planet to help you to connect to your loved ones in spirit. Not one thing. That's why we have such a fight on our hands with the message of help, heal, serve, because it's reintroducing, it's revitalizing the message of mediumship. It's helping people to be able to connect to themselves on a personal level so that they can then in turn connect to energy on a personal level. But when it comes to protecting, every one of you in the first instance, before we take a logical approach, will go to the quickest answer, the quickest solution to the enigma that you face. Whether that be you believe that you have paranormal activity, the first thing that comes into your mind, because you've been conditioned by Hollywood, the first thing that comes into your little jiggly mind is going to be, how do I eradicate this energy? How do I get it out of my home? It's trying to kill us. It wants to take me soul. Listen, energy does not want any of that. And the truth be told, the only thing that energy wants for you is for you to be able to succeed. You tell me how many human beings you know on this planet with the only intention is to make you succeed. So I can guarantee you, everyone lives their own worlds. Everyone has their own lives to live. And to those of you who think, oh, well, I've got about 10 people that, no, you're missing the point what I'm saying here. Your responsibility is on you to get your bottom to where you need to be. It's not on everyone else. Therefore, the spirit world aren't living in the materialistic. They aren't having materialistic lives. Therefore, they can aid and assist you without it taking any hardship on their side. You don't want 20 people around you helping you, making you, pushing you to get where you need to be. That should be your personal battle. You shouldn't have people wiping your backside. You should be taking it by the bull by the horns, and you should be smashing through life. That's what you're here to do. When it comes to energy, energy can aid and assist each and every one of you. Right. Spirit will mention is to address this on this video. A lot of you have done Ouija boards. A lot of you have done spooky things. You've went into haunted locations. Fun fact, the word haunted is also another play on your senses. There is nothing in this world haunted. The ideology of something being haunted automatically implants fear in the forefront of your mind. It automatically makes you think of the worst case scenario. For example, I could take you to a beautiful location, sun's out, grass is green, birds singing in the background. You know, you've got romantic lovers just having their food on a little picnic area out the back. You've got dog walkers casually walking through, and we're looking at it cast-wise, and it's just beautiful. The second I tell you, oh, did you know that this place is haunted? There's a hex being put on it by the ancient ancestors, and unfortunately, everyone who steps in here, you know, they fall ill through fatigue and illnesses that no one knows the answers to. Each and every one of you would be like, what the hell have you brought me here for? The beauty and splendor in those moments is gone. Fear has now seeped its way in like a famished mouse into the forefront of your brain, and it's gnawing away at all of the conditioning that you've had, and it's just implanting fear from words alone. Remember, there is nothing on this planet haunted. What happens is when you hear about haunted items and paranormal items, what actually happens there? Okay, because I have a few, but they're not haunted in the sense of the spirit world are with them every second of every day, like clinging on like a little limpet to the item and like going wherever the item goes. What actually happens is the items themselves give off a certain frequency and a resonance within the vibrational pattern of the matter. Now, this is scientific. You can go and look this up if you don't believe us. I would like to think you do believe us, but you can look this up. This isn't nothing new. And what happens is very much like a magnet will repel or it will magnetize. If you have, for example, you have the spirit world will be naturally drawn to specific items. Therefore, during a paranormal investigation or during a time where the spirit world are being called upon to come to an item, the spirit world will go to that item. You also have items where the realms are naturally magnetized to. This is not because they're attached to the items, it's because they like to use the items, because it's automatic. The best way in spirit shows, it's like a magnet. It's like the energy is just magnetized to the item. Sometimes you do have items that the spirit world and realms will use, but it's very, very rare, and it gets very confusing to a lot of people when that happens. But that's not to say it can't happen, it's just very, very rare. When we're talking about protection of the spirit world, stop. That time where you are protecting, that time where you are lighting sage, that time where you are making the space safe, where that time where you are placing your intent into the ground and you are being at one with, what's the word that they call it? What's that crazy and stupid word that they call it? Spirit are laughing, they know what I'm like. Grounding. That's it, they just shouted grounding. Stop it. All you need to do, literally all you need to do to connect to the spirit world, there's none of this. None of this. Right, listen, let the actors get on with that. We're going to do a serious job and we're going to bring forward evidence. All you need to do, my friend, is simply sit. That's it. Once you are sit, take a deep breath if you're new to it, and then we are going to be ready to receive. That's it. It's a mind. The second that your mind shift goes from being in a conscious state into working alongside the spirit world, and you know that that information's come through, then that's as quick as it needs to be. The second you start lighting incense and spirit sticks, we've got loads of mad different practices on this planet. None of it works anyway, but even if it did, you've got many people practicing all of these different things. And listen, if you want to waste your money and you want to, why do you think that all of these different items are there? You've got different crystals, you've got different, and listen, obviously, let's be have a bit common sense here. Crystals are made on planet Earth. I'm not saying that they are marketed just for you. It's a natural production of the planet Earth that we are living on. However, what I am saying is they have been, mankind's insecurities have been exploited. People are telling you that you need this certain specific chakra alignment crystal to be able to communicate. Or you need a black tourmaline. Or you honestly, your selenite, or all of these different things. Listen, I'm not disputing that they do have vibrational frequencies coming off, but so does my bloody mobile phone. So does my camera equipment. So does that light. That doesn't make it special to any of you. What it does, it plants the seed into your mind that you now need this item. Then when you do need the item, we're going to start paying a little bit of hefty money, because obviously in there's such demand on the... Listen, come away from all of it. Gain a good understanding that you're going to learn from all of these videos. To a lot of you who've been on, coming back to it, Spirit, I see it, a lot of you who've been on like some paranormal investigations, or you've done on a Ouija boards, or you've done many different paranormal things in different respects. And then you start to experience the spirit world a little bit more. Why do you think that's happened? Ask yourself the question, why is it that you are now experiencing the spirit world a little bit more after putting your intent, your focus, your drive, ambition, wants, needs, and desires into communicating and capture spirit intelligence? Why do you think it is? Well, we've just answered it, actually. Because you put the intent in. You have opened that door. You effectively went up to the spirit world's door. You've brayed on the door. You've took a couple of pictures. Spirit world are like stood at the front door like, what the hell's going on here? And then you've went home. The spirit world will still be very present in your world after the investigations. And it's not because you're being followed. The spirit world don't follow any of you. What happens is your extrasensory perceptions are in a heightened state of alertness. During the paranormal investigation, your suppressed extrasensory perceptions, which have been suppressed for a long time, have been heightened. Therefore, it will take them a long time to reduce. If you are somebody who constantly does this, your extrasensory perceptions do not go away. If you're new to it and you're just dabbling your toes in here and there, then yes, it's like one of those things where you'll use it a little bit and it will still be there, but it's not going to be prevalent to you. But the more times you use those extrasensory perceptions, the better you are going to become using them. Therefore, you will be highly attuned. This is why a lot of the time when you leave investigations, people assume that they have been followed home by the spirit world. Remember, we've already explained at the beginning of this video, the spirit world are omnipresent, like the air that we breathe, all around us. Therefore, it would make logical sense when you want a heightened state of alertness to be picking up on spirits in your home, because you've already actively put yourself into that mode. You've charged yourself up. The next thing I think it'll be worth mentioning is going to be about evil spirits. Now, I've told each and every one of you from day one, I've got nothing to be ashamed of. I've got nothing to hide from anyone. I don't need to hide anything. I work with what you call demons. I know, oh, scary. Not necessarily. Mankind's depictions of demons are scary, 100%. But remember, just because mankind have put suppression tactics in place to scare you from connecting. Now, I'm not saying that any one of you should, because the energy is very different to spirit energy and it's a lot more complicated to work alongside of, but it's not something that you shouldn't do. It's something that when you start working alongside of it, you will find out very, very quick how impressive it is, how amazing it is to work alongside. You've got all of these idiots, right, on planet Earth who claim in energy's name that they're going to do sadistic rituals and satanic practices and all of this. Listen, do you think that energy wanted that? Do you think that the demons wanted that? No, it's mankind's ignorance at best. It's mankind's wants, needs, and desires to manifest something that they can say that they're doing for energy. And each to their own. You know, when you get a little glimpse into energy, you can see why people want a part of it. But the problem is what people don't realize is the sadistic parts of it, all of these different practices that people follow, the rituals, the sacrifices, and all of this bloody rubbish. Energy never wanted that. That's mankind who brought that to the table. That's where the fear comes from with that. You've got things like the Conjuring, Annabelle, Robert the Doll, all of these things which I love and adore. But the reason why I love and adore them, it's not because it's genuine or it's authentic representation of the energy that I work with. It's because I like the way that mankind exploit one another. It's so funny in certain respects, especially when it comes to entertainment. Now, don't get that twisted. Don't think I'm saying it's funny when mankind exploit each other in a mediumistic sense. But what I'm saying is in an entertainment sense, it's fascinating the way that Videos alone can terrify the living daylights out of people. You don't even need an understanding. You'll just watch it, absorb it, and that's it. You make it your own reality. What you choose to accept is what you welcome into your world. If you choose to accept that demons are evil, then there's nothing I can do to help you, because through your own ignorance and lack of understanding, you have manifested that fear. If you are somebody who is open to the idea of working with spirit, then your natural progression over time would naturally be to start working with the realms also. Remember, you can, especially if you want to be a paranormal investigator, I would recommend to each and every one of you who are wanting to become paranormal investigators to work alongside a spirit in the first instance, but then learn how to work alongside of the realms. Here's a little fun one actually for you, because the realms are asking us to bring this up. A lot of people, when you work alongside of the realms, will get scratched. Now, again, hold off before you start going crazy in the comment section. Why do you receive a scratch? Or 3 scratches. The mocking of the Holy Trinity is what they say. It's not because a physical entity has actually maimed you, marked you, named you, whatever you want to call it. It's not that. Think about it like this. When you are working with the realms, or you go into a highly active location and the realms are present, your body does a very good job of keeping you alive. It's a very good job. It's why you're watching this video, fun fact. And as a species, it's why we are still here on this planet, because our fight or flight tactics and survival instincts will kick in when we feel danger. Through that process, our body has learned to adapt to specific situations. For example, if we get too hot, what happens? We come out in a heat rash. Our body shows us a visual representation and it warns us what happens if we go into contact in a different respect to, you may be allergic to pollen, or you may be allergic to some sort of environmental factor. What happens there? Your body tells you, doesn't it? It comes out sneezing, or you'll have some sort of an impact. Now that we've understood that logic, why is it that you come out with scratches? It's not because you're being physically harmed by energy, the realms. It's because you've come into contact with them. Your body doesn't know how to react in that situation. The only way it can warn you to get out of that situation is to mark you. And before anyone says that's unbelievable, Jordan, well, actually, coming back to the heat rash, what do you mean it's unbelievable? When you go in a very hot location and you come out in a heat rash, your body is reacting. It's a reaction that causes, it looks horrible, it looks painful. Why can't it come out in a scratch when you come in contact with energy that it doesn't know? Answer me that question. Because you can't. Because your logic is now thinking, well, actually, Jordan's got a point there. All of these people who said that they've been attacked and they've been harmed by spirits because they've received a little laceration or a little scratch, that's not because, well, I mean, 50% of them are faked anyway, but that's not because the spirit world or the realms have actively scratched you. That's because you've come into energy and your body's went, what the hell is going on here? When you get used to that energy, in over time you continuously work with that energy, you get acclimatized to it, so it doesn't happen. But in the first instance, your body doesn't know how to react, and you will come out in what looks to be scratches. It's one of those things where it does get us really triggered when people say that they're getting harmed and scratched and everything by the realms and the spirit world, because they're my family. I know them. I know what they are capable of, and I know exactly why things happen in the way that they happen. And it's not what you've all been led to believe. So please, at the beginning of your development, absorb everything what I've just said. Repeat it before you go to sleep. You should not protect from poor understandings. You have to protect from poor understandings of bad teachings. Sorry, you should never protect from the spirit world or the realms. You have to protect from poor understandings of bad teachings. I said that there and spirit went, you've said it wrong. I was like, yeah, repeat the correct version. You should never protect from the spirit world or the realms. You have to protect from poor understandings of bad teachings. Repeat that in the morning. Repeat that at night. When you find that is your base, and you know that you've forged that as a unique building block, the connection between you, spirit, and the realms will grow. If you are somebody who just wants to work with spirit, don't worry about it. The realms aren't interested in you. Like, seriously, and I know I say that, right? And there's a lot of you who think, oh my God, what do you mean they're not interested in me? The best things from sliced bread. But what you've got to realize is the realms will work with you if you want them to. They don't need to come into your world and steal your soul, just like the spirit world don't need to. They're there if you want them. If you don't want them, you'll never find them. It's really, really that simple. A lot of you might have a little bit of an inner dilemma going on from everything what I've just said there. But let us wrap it up in a different way. You all might know somebody called Frank. Frank in the materialistic has been an absolute horrible person. Family hates him, friends got no friends. You know, people come by, he bursts children's balls as it comes into the garden, and then he chases cats, he throws rocks, and all of these. Horrible person. The world hates him. And on his deathbed, Frank said to the nurses and to the doctors, I'm going to come back and terrorize all of you. Yes, Frank's not a very nice person in the materialistic. Once Frank leaves the materialistic plane and returns back to energy, what is it that made Frank evil in this life? Ask yourself the question. A lot of you who've done this before, you'll know the answer, but let's not spoil it for everyone else. Ask yourself the question. What gives Frank the ability to intentionally be evil and carry out evil deeds is the brain. The brain is a product of the environment that he has been in. It's a product of everything that he has become through the emotional hardships, through the relationship hardships, through the financial hardships, through the life hardships. Everything that he's been through has cultivated him into being. That person, once Frank's little heart stops beating and he returns back over to energy, the soul leaves the human form, returns to energy. What happens to Frank? What happens to the brain? Dies, rots, stays on this planet where it belongs. There is no such thing as evil in the spirit world. There is no home for it. There is no welcome into it. Everything that is evil and cultivated on this planet stays and dies on this planet. To any one of you who think, well, actually, I don't really believe that. What's the point of us coming to this planet then? If we could do what we do now in the spirit world and in the realms, right? Well, we're spirit, we're not actually the realms. But if we could do everything that we do in spirit, what would be the purpose of coming here? No, we come here to learn. We come here to spiritually grow, to go through the tribulations of life, to make hard, difficult choices, to see how we overcome them, all of the different hurdles. Therefore, there is a clear difference between earth and spirit. Two different reasons. So what would be the point of having evil in spirit? There is no such thing. Evil, planet Earth, I think we can all agree that it is human beings that you need to be careful of, not the spirit world. You have a clear divide there. Spirit world, when we return back there, there is no such thing as evil in spirit. Because remember, evil is cultivated within the brain. The brain doesn't go back to spirit. The soul does, yes, with a recollection of what you've done, but it doesn't take any of the ugly humanistic traits, the jealousy, the anger, the greed, the hatred, the corruption, all of these different things, ego, all of these things that are cultivated within the mind stay and die on this planet. That's what a lot of people don't realize. And that's why it's pivotal for each and every one of you. If you're going to be following my teachings, following everything that we do on this channel, stick to this. This is what is going to set you apart from Sheila, who's done it for 50 years. And she's terrified of working alongside of the spirit world. So she does a little cleanse, a little hex, a little spell, all of these things to make sure she's protected. She surrounds herself in this veil of white. You don't need to be that person. You have a good understanding. There's no excuse for it. You can simply work with the spirit world and trust the spirit world instantly. And thus getting the evidence that you so need and desire. I hope you've enjoyed this video, my friends. If you did, remember to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Thank you to all of the channel members. Remember to share this video to anyone that you think might like it. Check out the videos pinned at the top left and right. And until the next time, bye-bye for now.